Thursday afternoon chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the legend, Mr. Chandler Moore.
Jake, what's up, guys? Jake from State Farm here. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Chandler Moore.
Of Mav City, except
Mav City.
Yes, who we play obviously a ton of Mav City, but we're on
That's
our
good.
On our worship channel.
I appreciate that.
On the worship.
Do you sing
channel,
along with it? Yeah, it doesn't matter if you play it.
Yeah.
Do you sing with it?
I do.
That's
what
matters.
Off mic.
Okay.
So on Friday afternoon, so we play Mav City, Toby Mac, Casting Crowns, all that normal mix, and then on Friday afternoon on the drive home, I do a Friday afternoon worship experience. So it's 2 hours of vertical.
Wow.
Just straight up, the songs that are anthems, and it's half Mav City. So
that's good.
It's I'm paying half your mortgage.
Don't tell.
I feel like.
Yeah. Don't tell Toby that.
Yeah, right. I want to start out with just the video of you and Bieber singing. What was the song? Was it Jayar?
Jayar, yeah.
But you broke into a medley of songs throughout the video. It's gotten gazillions of hits. But I had to. This is for my own personal. There's a moment where you break into How He Loves, and there's a moment where I'm 50-50 that you either were moved and to tears, so you stopped singing, or Bieber missed a cue. Because there's a part where you stop right before you go into How He, and you just back away.
Yeah.
I'm like, was this a back away because you were just in the moment and led to tears, or was it a try to get Bieber to roll into?
Well, we weren't supposed to do How He Loves, so that was a wreck already. But I think I know exactly what moment you're talking about. What happened was the room. You can't really hear the room in that video. The room started picking it up and singing it, and it was probably the first time they sang the whole night. Yeah, because it was a room full of people who weren't church, like who really never been to church. Yeah, LA. It was LA. It was an LA room.
Right.
So it was the first moment that they actually started singing. So I backed away and was like, "Y'all know, take it."
Yeah.
And then Bieber jumped in. It was.
Can you describe that night for us?
Man, it was a special night. One, because me and Bieber had been friends for a while then. And it was our first moment really singing together on like a public kind of like we've written together and kind of played piano a little bit together in his house. But it was so that was special to me that one, he felt safe enough to do that on a platform like that and to do that with a song like that. And two, it was a special night too because of the setting it was in. It was a Bible study. It was just a chill, not pretentious, just a chill Bible study night that we all came together and went to church, and that just kind of happened. So,
is it crazy though that you think of the internet and now people in the Philippines have watched you and Justin just sitting there?
It's wild. It's wild to think about. I actually don't think about it enough. Like just the impact that could have.
Oh yeah.
On just the world.
Oh, the way I talk about Bieber is this guy is the most, in a sense, the most influential deliverer of the gospel in the world.
Absolutely.
And just one, because I follow him on Twitter, and like one post around Christmas where he's basically describing the gospel. I'm like, you have more people hearing about Jesus in one tweet from him, but you got it, because I've had Judah Smith on before, and I tell him, I'm like, the pressure that must be on that kid.
Yeah, unreal, man. Unreal.
I wouldn't wish on anybody.
Unreal. I mean, his last tour that he was doing, he was preaching the gospel every night. He would take 5-10 minutes and just preach the gospel to everyone. And I mean, you got 20, 30, 40,000 people in attendance who have never heard the gospel.
Right.
And the pressure of that is unreal. That we would never can ever imagine.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's crazy. I still watch that video, and it's like you can tell there's some moments on videos where I can sense the presence of God, and I'm not even in that room right now. And that was one of those special nights. Can you walk me up Fear Is Not My Future, song we've been playing for a little while now, but where'd this one come out of?
A couple of friends wrote it, and I remember I got the text from a voice note. We were ending our tour, and we were in Indianapolis, actually, and I got the text from a guy named JJ that founds Mav. And he sent me the song of him singing and playing it, and it felt so powerful. I was like, "You should sing this. Right. I don't want to sing this. You should get up there with a piano and sing it," because it just felt so Like the way it recorded on the voice note, it felt like I wanted the world to hear
Right.
that one. But we recorded it that night, or tried it that night, and tried a couple other nights, and the room caught it every time. And you could feel, I think, since 2019, 2020, there's been this wave of anxiety and depression and other things that we've just never imagined. And it's like more people deal with anxiety and depression than you realize. And I think that song speaks directly to the spirit behind it. I mean, because, we can deal with the fruit of something, but it's really the spirit at the root of what it is. And I think that song speaks so directly to the truth that you don't have to live in that anymore. And even if, whatever your process is, whatever your journey, however the Lord decides to deliver, whether it's a daily thing or whether it's an immediate thing or whether it's a long, lifelong thing, it's good to know the truth that it doesn't have to be your future. It's good to know the truth that joy, peace, strength, hope, love is available to you and accessible at any moment that you need it. So I think that's why the songs kind of capture hearts, because it's just helping that revelation. Like, dang, if I need hope right now, let me ask the Father for hope. If I need joy right now, I don't have to wait till Sunday to sing about it in church. I can ask Jesus for it right now, and it'd be a real manifestation and reality in my life.
Let's go into. I wanted to ask you this as a PK. I know you're a Dallas guy now, but
PK, I'm PK too.
I know. I was saying as a PK, you being I'm a son of a puppet minister, so that's not as cool.
I don't know. I think I would rather be the son of a PM than a
puppet minister. There's a very small group of us, and there are therapy groups.
Oh, got it.
Knowing there was a room in my house where my father kept all his puppets for Sunday school.
Wow.
Including Cowboy Carl, devil on one side, and like an angel on the other. Like when you sleep next to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't want to talk about that.
That's you need a little more therapy than preacher's kids.
But I was going to ask you, growing up in Charleston, one of my favorite cities on the planet
Love
to visit,
Charleston.
just the beauty of downtown.
Yeah.
But can you give me perks of being a PK and maybe a downside we wouldn't have thought about?
Perks, you get to walk around the church and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You get those benefits, and you go in the coffee shop, the bookstore, and just take shirts and candy and. I'm not paying for it. Right. Screw it.
Who my father is?
Right. You have that little chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
But the downside of it is, at a young age, you can be 11 and you got 30-year-olds watching your life thinking you can't be a kid because your dad's a pastor.
Right.
And you have the pressure of being an example. You could be 11, be an example for other 13-year-olds just because of who your dad is. So that, comes with its...
messing up is
messing up is the end of the world.
Yeah. Who was the guy? We had a guy, Rhett Walker. He's just an artist we play. He that hit him hard because he's like, when you've got an entire church full of people. Oh yeah. The second you mess up, it was news around town.
But the good thing about it now being 28, good thing about it now is it trained me for what the Lord was preparing, calling me to, and my purpose. It was preparation grounds because now, we live our lives in the court of public opinion. And you have eyes on you every day. People who know you, people who think they know you and they really don't. You have, you just have so many different sects of people who have opinions about your life. So now I have a more compassion and more hard scale. Yeah, I have empathy. I have capacity and patience, to deal with, the opinions of people who really don't know me because, I kind of grew up in it. Yeah.
For sure.
So it helps.
First Mav City show I ever went to, we play a ton of you on the air, but the first one I went to, I guess I was only listening to radio cuts because I walked into, it was the Josh Baldwin, Phil Wickham, and I walked in and I work in the industry. And
what show did you come to?
This was in Tampa.
Okay. Yeah.
And I walked into that room and everybody was singing deep cuts of Mav City. Dang. And I'm like, maybe I haven't explored Spotify that much because I've been just listening to the radio hits. And these people were singing word for word these songs that I now know very well. But I'm like, I guess I'm behind.
Dang.
I'm a Josh Baldwin guy, I guess. but it got me thinking, just watching you on stage, this isn't so we have to grease the doors to get your head out of here, making your head big here. But I'm saying, I'm like, there is talent. But I wanted to ask you about the rub between ministry and when somebody's got talent, and I know you could go make an album right now. I mean, you might already be working on it, but it could be just love songs. It could be just, here's me making art, beautiful songs. But then when you shift back into ministry mode, how difficult is that back and forth between ministry and art?
Man, I think when you come to a realization, I have over the last couple of years, especially since Mav has done, since God has done what he's done with Mav, is that God uses everything. And I think when you talk about art and ministry, when you talk about ministry is serving. It's service to people. It's service to God. It's service to other people. And, I mean, when you think about art is the expression of one's creativity for the, appeasing the I don't want to say approval, but it's for the entertainment of others. So I think when you can bring your art and something that you feel like the Lord has placed inside of you, I mean, all creativity comes from him. When you can place that and, intersect it with what you feel like he has called you to do as far as ministry, and be on a stage like we were in Tampa and take songs that we wrote in a garage, or some of us started in a garage by ourselves, that wasn't, it could have been about how we were angry with God, or could have been about how we were feeling in a certain moment, how we were lonely in a certain moment. And you can take that, and the reason it ministers to people is because we're not singing from a place of, all right, let's just get this song on the radio, let's just get this song in front of people. We're singing from an authentic place. And I always say that for your authenticity, there's always an audience. And we're singing from a place that was real to us. And we're not the only ones who felt alone before. We're not the only ones who have, been in certain situations and that we caused and needed his help getting out. So I think that art and that ministry intersects easily when you have an artist whose life is surrendered to him. I think we sometimes can overcomplicate it. Like, okay, well, art is over here in church and ministries. I think when you have someone who lives a surrendered life, who loves art, then you have a great intersection where people can be inspired by your art and your life. Yeah,
that's good. Let's play a brand new song from Maverick City. This one is called More Than Able. Can you give me just DNA of this one?
More Than Able. Wrote it with some of my favorite people to write with. Pastor Stephen Furtick of Elevation, Naomi Rain, Ben Fielding from Australia.
Who wrote Mighty to Say?
I mean, we can finish this interview with all of Ben Fielding's songs, the list, and he's brilliant. So we were in Charlotte and we wrote it, and it was a moment that just can't be explained, especially from the verse and to the chorus. It is a faith song. Especially when I've written with my friends at Elevation, we've been in this kind of faith flow, songs of faith, songs that are just straightly directed at encouraging you to believe more, to hope more, to not stop. Don't faint in your belief, don't faint in your faith. So when we did More Than Able, it was just like what's those things they put on your chest if you die?
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator, all of that. It was like a defibrillator or whatever. It was like that shot to your spirit of like, dang, I can be in church. I've been in church all my life, and some simple truths just slip past your heart, and you're like, when did I start to forget all of the great things you did? You are more than able. So it's a great, fun song, especially in the church, a corporate setting, that bridge. Can you imagine, with all the faith in this room, what the Lord can do? It's going to happen, just like the way maker through. So it's one of my favorites, More Than Able.
Before we get to my, we'll end on a fun note, and I don't mean to go all deep with you, but I know you can. You're one of those double threats.
Let's go. Let's go deep.
A double threat who can make somebody laugh, but at the same time can say something that can rock somebody's world driving home right now. Let's talk about funk, and not the music funk.
Okay.
Whether it's like for me personally, I talk on the radio in front of over millions, people, but when I go home, I get myself into funks by either ignoring God, because I've known scripture since I was a little kid, so you take the greatest story in the world for granted. Yeah. And you don't talk to him for a while because you're good, and so time goes by. Then there's funk caused by sin, which is my own problem, and it builds and builds till I'm in a bad place. But then I got to go talk on the radio and say these deep spiritual truths. I know you deal with the same thing when you're in front of a microphone. And you're like, thank God they don't know about. So what is we've talked about defibrillators earlier, but what is I need to meet with the heart of the Father right now, and I'm in no place to do so, but I got to get there.
Yeah.
What is your kind of go-to startup?
Man.
Is it written word or?
Honestly, it's for me, it's community. I think because I work so much in isolation, and I can live in my head about art, I can live in my head about songs, I can live in my head about what my career and my future is, that it's healthy for me to go to my church on Sunday, not have to sing, not have to perform, just sit and receive. And that community, it not only helps me feel safe enough to approach the Father, vulnerability and boldly, but it reminds me of the simple truth that, hey, God is here and God is available. And though thankful for my church, Social Dallas, what up? Thankful for my church, that when I go, I'm not the Chandler Moore from Maverick City. I'm literally just a recipient of what everyone is getting that day. And I'm able to be as vulnerable and as lay out on the floor as much as I need to. Right. So community is really, really, really big for me. And people who don't surround you with what they enjoy about you. Yeah. They don't, of course they encourage you, build you up, affirm you, but they give you that truth. Yeah. And more than my quiet prayer time that I have and that I retreat to, I think community is something I lean heavily on. Yeah. Because it's not good for a man to be alone.
Gosh, I'm an isolator to a T.
Yeah.
And when you think of the amount of people that it's exponential for you, the people singing these songs all over the world. For me, it's like in the Southeast, these people, I can say something, they email, I was going to kill myself, or I came to faith because of you. And I'm like,
that stuff's scary.
Yeah.
It's like people mean well, but I think on the receiving end, it's like you feel like you're being put on something that you never really, because it's like, if you knew me, you would, Hosanna. 3 days later, crucify. You would, it would be a different story.
But it's why I think drink is prevalent among people who minister.
Absolutely.
Because that balance between you changed my life, oh guys, if you knew how.
The switch is we weren't made for it.
No. And you read about it in the Psalms too. David, I think, struggled with that too. He's writing these beautiful things, but at the same time, he's on a rooftop checking out the net.
Yeah.
So it's this back and forth. So I do feel that when I walk into church, I don't sing any of this. Well, we play half of them. So you're already kind of burnt a little. But I build off the faith of others. Yeah. And when I feel faith coming from someone, like even as you're talking, I'm like, I feel this balloon rising in me that wasn't there before somebody starts speaking.
I think the other thing too that besides community, what you just said about David that I've kind of had in practice is, if I feel like I'm in a space of kind of like, I go do what he called me to do too. Like, this is your calling. Yeah. And I think whenever you're a funk, your callings always fuel something inside of you. I mean, you think about David, he was looking at Bathsheba on the roof because he was supposed to be on the field and he was at home. So it's like, okay, if you can't get to a special place where you feel, just go do go get on the field, David, and so you won't be caught looking. I think that's why a lot of us, kind of fall into those holes, whether it's drink, sex, drugs. We all have our vices, but I think besides, if it's not community for me, it's all right. Well, go write a song. Go sing to your 1-year-old child and do something. Get some type of fulfillment and remind yourself of why you're here and why, the Lord calls you and why you're living what you're living. Yeah.
Let's end on a fun little, we've been doing with this with some of the artists here. We call this birthday buddy battle.
Birthday buddy battle.
And we're going to put almost like cards on a table.
Okay.
Who your celebrity birthday buddies are, who was born on the same day with you. And I'm going to go find my 3, and we're going to put them out, your weakest to strongest, and we're going to see who's got. Steve just sent me yours. You were born on March 17th? 21st. Okay. So here's March 21st birth. So you give that a look real quick, and just in your head come up with your top 3, and I'm going to lay my top 3 out. And we'll see who's got the strongest up against it. This is kind of like brackets,
Wow. I'm looking a little weak over here, man. Okay.
Let's start with number 3. All right. Who's your 3rd birthday buddy?
Matthew Broderick.
Oh, that is not a weak 3. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Glory with Denzel.
He was in there. Okay. That's not too bad.
That's an amazing.
Maybe I need. let me switch my 3.
Who's okay?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, yeah, that's 3.
That's number 3. She's definitely number 3.
But I think your 3 still beats mine. I got Rachel Platten. This is my fight song.
That's not too bad.
She's got 2 big hits.
Yeah.
But
They're
Rosie,
pretty big, too, though.
Yeah.
They're, like, really big.
Yeah. But Rosie is a known name. Let's call that one a draw. Number 2, are you going Broderick?
Yes.
Okay. He was in something. Oh, Ferris Bueller's Day Off was his
I've
big.
never seen that one.
Either do I. I know it was big, though. My second is Busta Rhymes.
Oh, that you definitely beat.
Okay.
You definitely beat Matthew Broderick. You kidding me?
All right. This is the big one here.
Okay.
Who
You want me to go? Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, who's been in, oh my gosh, tons of stuff.
What's your number one?
Cher.
Yeah, I lost. That's definitely over. Definitely. Who cares about it? Gary Oldman.
No, he made some big movies, but
all mine are like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yours are like kind of
Cher, Busta, and Rachel Platten.
That's pretty good.
This is sad for you though, but I never beat anybody at the station with my 3. They've all got legends just lined up. We have one guy who couldn't.
When's your birthday?
May 20.
Well, you know what? I'll give it to you. That's my wife's birthday. You have to ask her. She's number 1.
Oh,
Hannah Moore.
I should have played her.
Hannah Moore. That's her birthday.
I should. If I knew that, I would have. Cher is number 2. Your wife is my number
1. Yes. And this is the only instance where that can happen.
Right. Hey, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I've done thousands of interviews over the years, and I never get. I was telling the guys, I'm like, I'm a little nervous about this one because I'm such a big Blink 182, Sylvester Stallone, Sean Astin from Rudy, Goonies. Those are the only 3 times I was like, oh man, I shouldn't be sitting here. But as a huge Mav City and a huge fan of yours, I'm like, don't mess this up.
No,
so
that means a lot.
it was great to have you in. So awesome.
That's cool.
The Thursday Afternoon Chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.